Alrighty, so I'm Marty Sakata, and I started this group more than 20 years ago. We run family office events around the country. Right now, we have about 300 people registered for this event. Many will be online. We've got a dinner party planned for later on today that has around 30 people registered for that. It should be lots of fun. We cover a variety of topics. If you go to our website, it's got a list of our upcoming events. We're going to be in Miami for Art Basel. That'll be December 2nd and 3rd. We'll be at Ackerman. December 10th and 11th, we'll be at Polsinelli in New York City. On January 15th and 16th, we'll be here. Not with Wilson Sonsini. Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for you to come on up and give a little speech about Wilson Sonsini and talk about what the practices are, et cetera. In January for JP Morgan Healthcare Week, we'll be at K&L Gates. And then we've got a whole slew of things. We're going to be in Miami a couple more times in May. And we will be back in New York. We'll be in LA for Milken as well. And then we'll be in Boston for Bio Week back in June. So that should be fun. Anyway, so we've had a lot of great things that come out of our group in the past. You know, we tend to be early to concepts and ideas. It's gonna be very interesting to talk about AI today that we're gonna have, because as many people know, you know, IBM was, you know, literally the AI company for many years. It didn't seem to do very well with it. But now we have all these great emerging AI companies. So we'll see, you know, what's the reality behind them all. A variety of topics we're covering, AI, energy. So one thing that came up in one of our conferences a while back, and probably I think to Tyson Halsey, is that energy historically has been about 10 to 20% of global public equities, and today it's probably around 4%. So I think that people are looking at a correction in energy. I understand there's some issues with Russian storage depots that have been hit by Ukraine recently. So maybe the price of oil will be going up again as well. So we'll cover that topic. We have a lot of great real estate discussions that will be ongoing in the afternoon, as well as some healthcare. With regards to our nonprofit work, we have this alliance with Stand Up to Cancer, and that has been top notch. We've got a meeting with Stand Up to Cancer next week in New York City. We formed an executive committee with them. We also have formed an advisory council with EveryCure, which is another nonprofit that's focused on working with off-patent therapeutics and using AI to repurpose them. And they have a pretty significant grant that they've received from ARPA-H for that purpose. So we're pretty active. We're going to have a couple more meetings talking about some of the legal aspects of these nonprofits that spin off lots of intellectual property. And so that's something that we want to, discuss again. We'll be discussing probably throughout the next 6 months, if not more, if not longer. We saw some great things come out of that. It's a turbulent time. Anybody who woke this morning saw that there was some kind of a bombing of a Russian weapons silo in Russia. Meanwhile, things are perking up in the Middle East as well. Before we get to the global macro point of view, I wanted to have Eric Hsu come up here from Wilson Sonsini and talk about Wilson Sonsini, his practice, their practices, their footstep, et cetera. So Eric, why don't you go on up?
Yeah.
And you'll be on this side, and the camera is you can look at the camera from here.
Great. All right. Thank you, Marty. We posted a few events with IvyFON and Marty before. It's always a good learning experience, a good networking experience. And so I'm a corporate securities partner at Wilson Sonsini. I represent startups, mostly company side. I do some investor side work as well. And we're, my law firm is probably one of the biggest law firms in the world in terms of venture capital, IPOs, M&A. We represent LinkedIn, Google, Apple, all the big tech and life science companies. Happy to meet all of you. We're having a few other panelists as well, throughout the next, 2 days. And so looking forward to meeting all of you and hoping to this will be another good session.
And Wilson Sonsini is in how many cities?
I mean, we
Roughly
keep expanding. Yeah, I mean, we're international now. We probably have 10 or 11 locations in the U.S. 4 or 5 internationally.
Wow,
Yeah,
okay.
it's like New York, Boston, Austin, Texas, Utah, Boulder, SF, Palo Alto, San Diego, Seattle, and then Brussels, China, London, right? So we're a well-known international law firm.
And roughly how many attorneys about?
I'd say probably close to 1,000. Probably about 300 partners. 600 or 700 associates.
And it's a full service firm?
Full service law firm, yeah. So what that means is we do everything that a company or a investor needs in terms of corporate work, litigation, employment, tax, patent work, IP, licensing. The full gamut of work.
So it's not just venture capital, it's investment management, it's cross-border mergers and acquisitions, things like that. Perfect, great. Well, thanks so much. And we have done stuff, activities with Wilson Sonsini, not just here, but in Palo Alto. Also, we've done events in Austin, Texas with Wilson for several years. And more recently, we did something with them in New York back, I think in April it was. So thanks so much for hosting us again.
Absolutely.
And we'll have a lot more people coming in the afternoon to hear some of the real estate panels, et cetera. So the morning's gonna be a little bit more virtual with some of the people speaking online. So